What the hell am I looking at here? Well, this is the actual double-barrel British heavy tank, and it's on the RU server, and it looks quite interesting. And so let's compare them. We have the Condor, the FV242 Condor, and the Canopaneer. First of all, it does have less DPM than the Canopaneer, and slightly less alpha damage. So there's that. Although this alpha damage difference is so minuscule, who cares? The Condor gets slightly better ammo than the Canopaneer. Now, the standard pen is slightly higher, but this is APCR, so they're pretty much the same. However, the APCR travels very fast, whereas the Canopaneer, it's kind of average. And when we load gold, it actually gets 330 heat, whereas the Canopaneer gets 318 APCR. Now, 318 APCR is nice for going through tracks and stuff, but also 330 heat is no slouch, and you can go through E100 turrets just about. And to be fair, the heat rounds aren't even that much slower than the APCR rounds. So in the Canopaneer, you basically just spam APCR all the time, whereas in the Condor, you can actually switch between them. They both have their utility. We go down. The Condor has worse aim time and worse accuracy, but better dispersion factors, especially the turret traverse. So I guess the Condor is a bit better at brawling, in that it doesn't require as long to aim, and the reticule is smaller, whereas the Canopaneer is better at sniping. So they both have 10 degrees of gun depression. We look at the mobility. The Condor is faster, and also has a faster reverse speed, which is nice, and it's pretty much the same power to weight, if not slightly worse on the Condor, and in fact, the ground resistances means it's actually kind of slower. So, you know, I guess you could say the Condor actually has a bit more health than the Canopaneer, even though it weighs less. And it does get an extra 10 meters view range, which is nice. So let's just take a quick look at the can opener's armor, just, you know, as a reference. It's got a lower plate, driver's hatch, sort of, and cupola. If you load gold, the hull, it's not so great anymore, especially the driver's hatch, corner plate, lower plate, you know, cupola right there. Of course, the can opener's armor is obnoxious because when it goes hull down, it looks like this, right? So, not much you can do about that, really. So, what does the Condor have for armor? Okay, there it is. Kind of looks like it has a pike nose, like an IS-7. And in fact, it is like an IS-7 in that it's 150 millimeters. So, looking at this, I could say it's actually better. You don't have a driver's hatch here. And even when you load gold, you're never really going to pen the upper plate. Maybe from here up close if you're shooting down on it, but otherwise not really. Your lower plate is also thin like the can opener because it's got like a lower section here that's very well angled. So it's interesting. Like visually you think, oh, that's the whole lower plate, right? Aim for center of mass, but no, actually you should aim a bit higher than that. Of course, it does have a corner plate, although it is further back. So you can sort of peek a corner without even showing it and just show your lower plate at a steep angle. But the turret, it's pretty much like the can opener in that if you use your gun depression, again, also obnoxious, you hide your cupola. And if you load gold, it doesn't really make a difference. Now, one thing you need to be a little concerned about is that your roof armor is not actually that thick. And for example, I'll give a demonstration of what happened to me one game. An E4 firing gold can sort of just go through you if they're even slightly above you. And you can see the hull kind of falls apart. However, that's kind of to be expected with 375 APCR. Like, I'm pretty sure the can opener is even worse. Let's see, Tank Destroyer, America, E4. So it's already orange with just standard, and then you load gold. Yeah. I would say this is worse than the Condor. The Condor at least has some auto ricochet angles here, especially like that. Whereas this, it's, yeah, not very good. And even the turret, it's like, if you're using your gun depression, sure. But other than that, you're in for some trouble. And even the gun mantlet can be penned. Of course, an E3 has pretty nasty pen, so, or an E4 even. I'm not too upset that these tanks are falling apart to gold ammo. The point I'm trying to make here is I think the Condor fares a little better. That's all. So, what makes the Canopaneer so special? It's shitty, useless mode. And the reason I hate the Canopaneer is because it can't really double for shit. So people are so enamored by its mode. Okay, look, you do this. No perfect dispersion factors, but crap accuracy. So you're basically not aimed. I've said this before, but I guess because this is the review, I'll just say it again. This is your dispersion fully aimed. These are factors, okay? These alter your dispersion depending on if you're moving, if you're turning the tank, or you're turning the turret. So this value goes from accurate to not accurate depending on these factors. Which means if you slow down, move your turret slowly or whatever, you can maintain good accuracy. The mode basically says you can do whatever you want, you'll basically never be accurate no matter what. You're always unaimed, no amount of aiming will fix this. And you're slower. This is stupid. This is a garbage mode, and that's why I hate the Canopaneer. Now the reason this tank is good is not because of its double barrel, but because high DPM, decent alpha, decent armor, accurate, etc., etc., gun depression, even view range. That's why the Canopaneer is dominant. It's everything not to do with the double barrel, because the double barrel sucks. The Condor, not quite so much. It's actually a real double barrel tank, in that the charge up time is 1.5 seconds. That's so fun. That's so nice, guys. This is like the E65's Villing, except it's a tier 10 with better armor and somewhat decent alpha damage. And even the gun switch time is 3 seconds, which isn't super duper long, but still, this 1.5 second charge up time means that you basically just double all your shots. You poke around a corner, double, pull back, and your alpha is actually 820. And so it's very nice that way. And so I don't know what else to talk about with this tank. Equipment that I would use. Well, it does have okay dispersion factors, and the accuracy could be improved. Now, when I'm pre-charging my tank, I'm usually moving, right? I'm pre-charging behind a corner, and then coming around a corner and blasting them. In which case, you definitely still want vert stabs to get that moving dispersion even less. Now, the Canopaneer might have perfect dispersion factors, right, with its stupid mode. You come around a corner, your gun doesn't bloom at all, but you just miss because this is worse than arty. Here, for the Condor, I'm reducing this, so it will bloom a little bit, but it means it goes from 0.35 to maybe 0.4, as opposed to 1 point whatever the hell it was on the can opener. Aside from that, you could do Bounty Turbo and Bounty Hardening. So you get some decent HP and some decent top speed, and mainly the reverse speed. Remember, you come around a corner, blast someone, the recoil sends you back around the corner, pretty much straight to your top speed. So if I can make my top speed as high as possible, I basically just boom right back around the corner, which is pretty entertaining. So I wonder if any of these give you, okay, it does. This gives you higher reverse speed. You definitely want to switch to that, okay? I don't know what it nerfs, whatever it nerfs. Let's see, dispersion factors slightly. Okay, big deal, I don't care. Going around the corner at 20, that's kind of what medium tanks are, right? Like, wasn't the Crocodillo like 18 or something? I don't remember, but yeah, now you got almost reverse speed of a medium tank. Very funny, and oh, you get some more health. So this tank is very enjoyable to play, and I don't really know what else to talk about. I guess your second loadout, if you are playing on the RU server, is you can do bounty aiming for long range maps, right? Think proc, right? Proc, everything's long range, you don't really have much of a choice, there you go. And I guess even you could do the full Cope equipment setup and go for max accuracy. I don't really think it's necessary, but you could do it. I don't think I ever did this. I did not put this on my second loadout. At least I don't remember doing that. Maybe I did because I'm stupid, but yeah. Anyway, that's enough yapping. Let's get on to the replays. Okay, the Condor on Malinovka. Check out this skin. I actually just played this game today. So you're going to see this Christmas style skin on this tank. The other replays were played a while back, but yeah, I think it's safe to say that the RU server has us beat for camo. At least right now at the moment. Now we do get like the EBR drag car skin with the double tires that look ugly as shit. I wish it was just single tires, but And we also get the Thunder Child, the FV skin. However, this is just a cut above. I mean, look, we've got a fireplace in the back with wait, what are those shits called again? Socks. Stocking. I don't know. They also got presents on the engine deck and... Okay, you know what? How about we get out of the trees? I want to get up this hill faster, so I'm going to double barrel my way up. I don't really think that makes a huge difference. I'm doing it just because, I don't know. I mean, I'm ahead of these IS-7s, although I don't know if they were just... if they stopped or whatever, but... At the back of this, we got, what is that, a nutcracker? I actually don't know what any of these Christmas things are, I'm not gonna lie. But, let's see. What else? Oh! You may have noticed that when you double shoot your gun, the shells also come out of the hatches on the side here. Maybe I should have actually shown it to you while I was doubling up the hill. Well, I guess you'll see it in a moment. But we also got some antlers coming out. Looks nice. Yeah. Anyway, so I've made it up the hill. I'm not going to double shoot anymore because I need to, like, actually point my gun forward. And let's see, can I get up to that windmill without getting shot? In fact, maybe I can get a double shot on this 277 because he doesn't know I'm here. And, oh, did he actually see me? Not yet, he actually didn't. Okay, and... Perfect. Look at that charge up time. That's such a nice charge up time, man. Anyway, I want to get to the windmill without eating a shot. But this IS-7 is kind of like staring me down, so I'm keeping this thing in between me and him. No shots there, no shots on that guy. This is where firing heat might be more useful. Not that it would really help against the IS-7 turrets, but maybe the S-Conk turret and IS-7 upper plate. I didn't actually shoot there. This is kind of like a replay bug thing or whatever. You can see I'm not reloading, so I don't know why the replay thought I shot my gun. But unfortunately, this guy just manages to feather the shot in. How obnoxious, right? And that's actually going to be a huge problem. You'll see why in a moment. I needed that HP for later, but... Anyway, I'm going to double this guy. Look at the back of the turret, okay? This thing has armor, so I'm not too afraid of poking him. You ready? Bop! Just shot out both the barrel... or the casings there. Anyway, yeah, so it looks like I have a hull down here. That's quite convenient. Let's see. I am loading heat. Let's do that. Pull back. You missed. I wish this could be a little more like a hull down. Let me just do that. There we go. Now it's more like a hull down. And they're trying to shoot my cupola, but they are IS-7s after all, so it's going to be a bit difficult for them to hit it. And so let me just load 2 shots before I poke to limit my exposure time. Unfortunately, one of those slightly missed, and he got a shot into my lower plate, but oh well. So let's load both shells, not just one at a time, right? Because if I'm gonna poke, I'm gonna limit my exposure, get this guy to fire. Now he's gonna back up. I see all of our team are moving up. All right. Let's wait for that E3 to... Okay, he's not looking at me. Perfect. Let's go in. I'm gonna poke on this guy. If I take a shot of damage, I want to double him, and it looks like he's kind of given up. Eat that. Another double shot. So... will I get another shot into him? Maybe, maybe not. I don't really want to take more damage, but yeah. He's staring me down, even though there's like people around him that he could shoot. But as you can see, I'm going to load back to APCR now because we're going to be doing a lot of sniping, and these shells travel very fast. Like, for example, if I want a double shot at an EBR full speed, I could do it because the charge up time is so fast, and I have the shell velocity to do that. Anyway, let's go in. The bat chat should spot for us, so that's perfect. Anyway, let's probably want to go with the low side so I don't get shot in the side of the turret. This thing is kind of enormous. Not gonna lie, but oh, Artie. Load a double because I don't have the alpha to one-shot him. And so, he, you know, he got shot already. It's not a big deal. However, our bat chat died. So, this is gonna be troublesome. How are we supposed to spot for ourselves? Well, the Mivy is just going in guns blazing. And, well, this guy's gonna leave. I want to put a double because that's the only damage I'm gonna get on that guy. And it actually, I killed him. It's a good thing I didn't fire early there and I waited for the double. It was a slim shot, but we weren't at super long range, so it wasn't super duper risky. Anyway, I want to get into a position where I'm hull down and in bushes. Because being hull down is great and all, but if you're just perma-spotted, eventually they'll pen your turret at some point. Especially the Stug Mouse. And even the Sturv, he's accurate enough to hit my cupola. But actually, thinking about the Sturv has high enough pen to go through the front of the turret. And look at this. A can opener could not do that. A can opener does not have the accuracy to hit that shot. And so I just took a huge chunk out of that FV's health, which will be very good for us because he was full and now he's not full. But yeah, that's why I like this tank way more, and I think the can opener's crap. Because the whole point of playing the can opener is the double barrel, or at least in theory, that's the whole point, right? But in reality, the double barrel is useless. And I'm going in because I think, okay, I have HP, it's time for me to use that HP. This guy he's not actually fully looking at me, so boom. And again, because I'm actually accurate, even though I'm moving, I'm still more accurate than a can opener. Luckily, that guy didn't really aim his shot. He turned his hull over and just snapped me, which is very good because that was a big meaty round that missed. And look, this is actually great for me. However, the FV will poke this at some point. It's not the worst thing ever. An FV is realistically not gonna pen my front unless he loads AP. And so I'm actually gonna switch to HE here. He looks and then he actually misses. He had time to aim that, he snapped it, and now I think, okay, this is my chance, okay? Can this Sturv bounce a shot so I can go in? No, he's not. Okay, I'm just gonna have to eat the shell. He misses. That's actually good for me. The Stug Mouse is looking at me, but I'm just gonna have to eat it. Okay, I need to cross this gap and kill this FV. I have the alpha to do it. Now I can kill this guy, right? 823. I do 510. I should have killed him. My double is 1020. I did 820. I low rolled both shots. This guy should have died. But now I'm gonna have to gun block him, right? My only chance is to gun block, okay? Gun block, gun block, gun block. Turns out I actually died to the Sturv there. Now, was that a good play? To be honest, it was the only play. The Stug Mouse and Firebird over there, and all of these people can just stare this down. If I had killed this FV, I would be a huge thorn in their side. Literally. Because I will be here, and if the Sturv wants to aim at me, he's gonna get shot by my allies. If the Stug Mouse and Firebird want to shoot me, they get shot by my allies. We put him in a crossfire. RNG just lost us the game because of the double low roll. Are you kidding me? Double fucking low roll? That's actually so obnoxious. And like, yeah, I did poke it kind of in front of the Sturv. I didn't really have much options, did I? I have 290 health. An FV can splash me to death, no problem. I need to gun block him. I do have 2 guns after all. Gun blocking only works if you're face hugging, because then the gun is right in their face, right? So, yeah. That's actually extremely obnoxious. I did end up taking a hit from the Stug Mouse, but I don't really have much options. If I sit back there and load HE, then I'm gonna have to try and HE pen the Sturv, and which maybe I could, but the Stug Mouse, that's not gonna happen. And then this FV pokes again and shoots me. I have to kill the FV with my double HE that I loaded. Because even though I took a hit from the Stug Mouse, I can just chill here. But it didn't work out. So, anyway, that was still a good game, even though RNG fucked me. So yeah, let's move on to the next replay. So we're on the evil map. You hear that? That's the evil map music. It's actually Kinenrad. You may have seen this map before. It was a recon map, and it was called, I believe, Cholesterol. Although it's not like cholesterol, the food. It was spelled with a K, whatever the hell that's supposed to mean. But I quite like this map. I enjoy it. That means we're never gonna get it because Wargaming only adds shit maps, you see? You don't understand. We need a reskin of Airship Yard. Duh. That's what everybody wanted. The reason this map is pretty good is because there's just it's a corridor, but there's many corridors. So if one corridor is too locked down, you just drive somewhere else. Although, to be honest, I always go to the one line because honestly, I find it's okay. It is kind of a corridor, but you can push it given enough time. So first I'm going to go to these stairs and use my hull down tank in the hull down just to see if I can get any early doubles off, because this tank is kind of a hull down tank. And so let's have a look. You can see that IS-7 on our team is actually pushed up already. That's why it's not like Pilsen where if you like drive forward you explode. You can play aggressive and just go straight to that corner. And so at this point I think, okay, well that guy's going to that corner, he's brawling, he's doing all that, let's back him up. And he just got smacked by the GPT-75. So, okay, excuse me, I'd like to go in now. Let's see, is this guy poking? You know, I don't want to drive in and give him a free shot. If he pokes, I'll stop and aim at him. But, okay, he's not poking. Let's drive up here. Now, I don't necessarily want to lose my HP right off the rip. You can tell, like, a lot of times I say I'm trying to save my HP, right? And you can tell from last game why. I needed that HP to survive that encounter, and I didn't quite have it. Although, to be honest, I would really like to, like, you know, get some damage in. And oh, you just fired your gun? Alright. There you go. You can eat 800. Why would I put one shot and reload and then, you know, put another shot? He fired, he's reloading. I'm gonna hit him for 800. And actually, this based mouse is just gonna go in and take all the hits for us. Great. That's how you win games. So, I'm gonna load my double and then try to double him again. So, let's see here. We're in kind of a crossfire, so I'm not gonna go too eagerly, although this IS-7 who is a one-shot is going very eagerly. So that's funny. I don't quite have the angle to double him, so I just put one shot in and... yes. What did I say about crossfires? Well, this mouse is gonna eat it. T-57 is reloading now, so I guess I can come over here. This GPT puts one shot into the IS-7. He's got two shots, but... oh, I'm hull down. He's gonna have to shoot my roof. Let's just do that. Perfect. Why put one shot reload and one shot reload when I can limit my exposure time, right? And so it's gonna be pretty hard for him to Cupola snipe me because that tank's gun handling is like a Caliban. Literally, it's like a Caliban. So, just gonna aim my gun up to do a little bit of gun blocking. I'm not really sure where that shell went, to be honest. Could be a ping issue, could be a skill issue. But whatever, I'll just reload. This FV jumps on him. Alright, sure. I'm gonna switch to APCR because now it's gonna be kind of long ranged, and this mouse just eat another clip from the T-57. Alrighty, put a shot into him. Kind of sucks. I'd like to be loaded and double this TVP, but oh well. We didn't really get too much damage there, but we are even on HP, so it's a good thing I kind of saved my health. And alright, I thought this guy would be on the reload, to be honest. I mean, did he not just clip out the mouse? Guys? Is that not what he was doing? Was he just staring at him for fun? Anyway, that SU is an autoloader, so I don't necessarily want to poke him. Yeah. Ah, fucking arty, dude. I kind of like jut my tank out forward a little bit to try and maybe block a shot or whatever. And hopefully I can bounce this, please. Okay, perfect. I've used my HP to push up here. That's why I wanted to save it. Because I don't really want to snipe at a side-scraping mouse with 170 ping. Yeah, that's not really something I want to do. So all I have to do now is wait for this mouse to fire, and hopefully I can plant a double into his turret. Because again, it's all about trading shots, right? And if I want to do that, I'm actually just going to close the gap here. No, actually, I'm not. I'm going to stare this corner down. I should be closing the gap, realistically. Okay, there we go. Now, Mr. I7, you have more health, so if you could just take the shot for me, that would be great. Because then this guy would lose a lot of damage, right? You put a shot into him, I double him. It's kind of on you, man, okay? Are you going to take the shot? There is kind of actually a hull down here. And remember, this thing's upper plate can't really be penned. Although he is a mouse, so maybe he can pen it. Anyway, he fired. Let's try and double his cheek. Perfect. And this mouse really didn't like that. So he's gonna do this. Try and gun block as much as I can. He penned that. Oh, well. Let's put a shot into his turret cheek. There we go. And, let's see if I can just sort of gun block my cupola. He's not aiming at my cupola. He's shooting my upper plate. Yeah, he's aiming down on it. It's still thick. And, I don't know how that bounced, to be honest. Yeah, it was just a low roll on the heat pen. You see that? Went right to his turret front. That's just how it is, right? But, okay. 4,200. It would be very nice to double this SU, but he's an autoloader. So, we gotta be careful. And now he's looking right at us. Alright. I'm kind of hoping that he'll, like, fire at this IS-7. Right? Are you gonna... He fired one. Well, do I really want to poke it? I'm a one-shot. Someone in chat is yelling in full caps. He gets unspotted. I'm unspotted. I think, you know what? Okay. None of my team are doing anything. This grill is just going to sit there, even though he has enough health to take a shot from him. And this IS-7 is also not really doing anything. And, oh. Very nice. I'll just take that asshole out of the game. And so, okay. Is he, that's 2 or 3? And, okay. That guy's probably going to go in the reload now. All I have to do is just reload my shell and just double this guy. So, here we are. In fact, yeah, he's reloading. And very nice. 5,500 damage. And you can see, like, this map is quite dynamic. Even though I was a heavy tank, kind of just going through the straight path, there was plenty of other paths to take. If I was a medium, for example, I would have probably flanked this guy a long time ago. It's just that this is kind of a slowish heavy tank, and so I didn't immediately think to just drive around him. So, yeah, that was pretty fun. Yeah, let's go on to the next replay. By the way, check out the animated camo. It's kind of hard to tell, but if I speed it up, you can see it's like pulsating. Those are pretty cool. Now, of course, this is an older replay. I don't have the Christmas style on this tank. But yeah, we're on Empire's border, and you might not just instantly recognize it or notice it, but if you look at the middle, it's actually different. Lesta changed it so it's not such an unfair fight. Of course, if you know, the Empire's border we have on the NA and EU server heavily favors this side of the map. And in fact, looking at this, is this the same? I think it is. Is it? It looks like, I don't know, but definitely the middle here is different. I don't go there instantly because, again, both sides of the map are kind of equal. And I'm thinking, do I want to go up here or do I think there's going to be more HP down south? And you can see those guys crossing, Conway and E4, those aren't very hard to pen. And so, okay, I'm going to go down there. That seems like HP is down there. That's where I'm going. Although it seems like I stop here. I'm kind of indecisive, actually. The reason I'm indecisive... Now, this replay's a long time ago, so I'm trying to think what I was thinking back then. Okay, yeah, definitely. Now that I just saw myself look back, it's because I'm alone. I don't know if I necessarily want to go here alone. Although, it does look a bit different. Is it just me? Or is it different? Anyway, let's poke this and... Oh, hi. Ha ha ha. The charge up time of 1.5 seconds. So good. It's even better than the can opener, because the can opener takes 2 seconds to go into the mode. It's so funny, that pile of shit. People are like, oh, the can opener's great, because you don't have to charge it up. You just click and double. Well, yeah, you have to still go into the mode. Isn't going into the mode the same thing as pre-charging? Right? Someone around the corner, you want to double him. Okay, press X, switch into the mode, come around the corner, double. How is that any different from pre-charging? It's just that pre-charging requires a little bit of careful timing, basically. I'll take the careful timing over being inaccurate every day of the week. Anyway, I'm going up here because I've realized, look at the south, there's way too many people for me to hold alone. And so, one, I'd like to be above them. They can't really rush me if I'm above them. They'll be driving uphill. And two, I have allies up here. So yeah, that's, I think, a good reason to fall back and come up here. Now, I'm coming back quite far. Again, this map is slightly different. I can't shoot them as they come in, because this is here. So I actually just turn around and move up to where that hull down is eventually. I'm assuming they're just going to rush on through, because, you know, that happens quite often on the NA server. All right, you just get a whole horde coming along here. Russians don't tend to YOLO as hard, I've noticed. I don't know what it is, but games on the RU server tend to last longer. I'm not sure what it's about. Maybe it's just because of the player size, the player pool. It mimics more like old World of Tanks, the slower paced games. Anyway, let's see. Can I get a double on someone? That'd be cool. No, that's not really a pen right there. Let's see, and oh. How convenient! I even took his tracks off there. And he's dead. Perfect, we're on 1600. Let's just load another double and follow it up. Because, like, I could poke this. I'm kind of hull down. They're probably not going to pen me, but then E4 could pen me. However, he's not looking because he's being blocked. And so now it's more of a DPM fight as opposed to just, like, trading. We're not even trading. They're not even aiming at me. So let's just shoot when we're reloaded, right? It's a DPM fight after all. And so let's see, is someone gonna poke? I'm about to load the second shell, so hold my shot just for a second, and okay, perfect. Let's see here. Put a shot into him. Good. They're not really gonna push in now. They only have 2 people. So, do I want to sit here? Well, it looks like the Wilk just took out one of our friends. So, time to turn around. And this Wilk, you know, he probably thinks he's gonna get the jump on us. But fortunately, I have a minimap that I tend to look at from time to time. So, you know, take that. I have no idea where one of the shells went. I guess it went to his side and ricocheted because he got tracked. So, you know, ping issue. I pinged the phase like, hey, why don't you turn your ass around? Hello? And okay, he does turn around. And so, like, you know, kudos. I guess not everybody is like a sweaty nerd that's always staring at the minimap. But, like, I guess if I ping someone and they react, that's more than good enough, right? So, and he reacted. That means these two can't just rush me while the phase has his back turned. And so, let me just load a double and shoot this 7.52. I have full health. I've saved it literally just for this moment. And here we go. If I took a return shot from the 7.52, that's perfect. Because now it's kind of a close game. Time to use my HP to do what I need to do. And what I need to do is kill this guy. Now the Wilk has left, so let's see. I'm probably gonna, I'm gonna go to the low side. I don't really want to go down that way because I'm in a crossfire. So let's clear this side of the map. And actually the Wilk went over there. So had I gone down over here, and let's say I just crossed like this, I get shot in the side by a Wilk, an E4, an FV, and another Wilk. Not a good idea. Even though I'm not gonna get any damage here, still, it wouldn't be smart to go down like that. Although I do see there are some like cubbies here. Although I don't know, if I go there, I'm kind of stuck there, right? It's fine. Let's just progress through. It's not really a close game anymore. It's close on tanks, but we have way more HP. I mean, I'm literally full. But yeah, this guy penned me, and I'm thinking, where did he pen me? Just curious. Turret front. It's an E4, right? It's got very high penetration rounds. The turret doesn't quite hold up. That's fine. It's a good thing I saved my HP. If I was a one-shot and died there, that'd be pretty annoying. Anyway, those guys die, and that's about it. Now, could I have been more aggressive? I don't even know. I felt like I was aggressive enough to get all the damage I would have gotten. But maybe I could have, like, went down here and sort of used my HP to push them. But basically, spoiler, I'm not going to get any more damage this game. This conch gets absolutely gamed on by the 140. But the standard B just finishes him off. So, we could just take this guy to look at this tank. What do you guys think? I see in the game files we have another tier 10 British double barrel with the special mode. I forget what it's called, but yeah. I would honestly prefer if they just added this to the game. This is way funner than the can opener. But yeah. What do you guys think? Do you think this is a good... You think it's better than the can opener? I know you've never played it, but just looking at the gameplay. I mean, it's kind of hard to argue, to be honest. Like, the gun might perform slightly worse, but you have better hull armor and just a way better double barrel. So, yeah. In my opinion, I prefer playing this way more. Anyway, on to the next replay. Condor on Berlin. And now, I don't particularly like this map. However, we're top tier, fighting tier 8s, and there's no artillery. So I can go to my hull down and just farm people. Because I do have a cupola, but, you know, it's easy to hide it. It's kind of small. So I should be good to go. And so what do they have? They have an E100, which is pretty easy to pen, because his turret was not buffed on this server. And I have 330 heat. So that's basically free damage. However, the Orso is a bit more challenging. He has a cupola, and trying to snipe cupolas with 150 ping, it's not the easiest thing ever. Anyway, anybody coming in early, get some early shots off? Nope. There's a TF4. And I don't remember if I can pen his turret, but yeah, he's just gonna try and flame me. It's not gonna do too much damage to me, to be honest. It showed orange, so I thought I'd give it a go, but it looks like I hit his gun. Anyway, there's the 100. There you go, put a shot into his turret. Very nice. And we're just gonna reload and follow it up. Because I'm moving very slowly and I have vert stabs, I don't really have to aim much at all. It just goes right in. And it's exactly what you would expect for this map. I'm using my gun depression, so they aren't really gonna hit my cupola ever. So, let's see, poke here. Yeah. The GPT shot me right in the gun, so I have to fix that, but I don't know if that was on purpose or if that tank's just very bad accuracy. And you're gonna notice, for some reason, when I zoom in at that corner, my FPS drops. You'll see it, and you can even read it at the top left. Look at that. Now it's 42 and 30? What's going on, guys? I fucking need a 5090 badly, dude. It's getting to the point where it's like I can't even muster up 60 FPS. What the hell is this? And it's weird because it's 30 FPS in the replay and also 30 FPS reviewing the replay. Wait, that doesn't make much sense, does it? The reason there's two numbers is because one of them is what your FPS was in-game, like at the time you were playing, and then the second one is what's your FPS right now viewing the replay. And they're pretty in sync if you look, because, I mean, it's my computer. It didn't change computers or anything. Yeah, it's my replay, guys. Can you believe it? And so, for some reason, aiming over there just lags my game. Anyway, we're farming them up. That shot... Is it just me, or did it ricochet the E100 and hit someone else? I can't tell. Anyway, there's the Orso. He's kind of hard to pen. Has a corner plate there. Yeah, the accuracy on this tank, it can be interesting sometimes. And this is a spoiler for what will happen later in the replay, but... Try again? Perfect. That guy kind of played like a bot. If he was any good, he would give me a lot of problems, because that thing is kind of hard to pen. Anyway, I guess it's time to move up. Just gotta play the hull down. This TF4 flamethrower seems to be a bit out of position. He's the easiest to get a shot on. And of course, if he angles down, I could just shoot his upper plate, especially with heat. And so, you are dead. So, let's reload these two shells and go after the next guys. That's the GPT and the E100. And so, I have heat loaded, so I have to shoot their fronts. Both of those tanks have spaced side armors. That's why I'm not even going to fire my heat round into his tracks right there. It wouldn't pen. And this guy is looking. He fires one, charge it up. Destroyed. And I just love double barrels, man. It's like... The reason I love double barrels is that most tanks, you either have high DPM or high alpha damage. For the Condor and most double barrels, it's both. Not at the same time, but you get to choose. Do you want to trade or do you want to DPM? And although I'm firing heat, it's a very flat side. And so I go for that single shot. I'm not going to go for a double because I kind of need DPM to kill this guy. He just fired. Perfect. He's turning his turret. I think he's looking behind him. And so I just come here and blow him up. 1 second charge up time means that people don't really have time to react. It really is like you have an 800 alpha gun. That also means it's hard to make micro adjustments while charging it up because you only have 1.5 seconds. Anyway, look, a full health tier 8 medium. And so, let me take my big tier 10 heavy to blow him up. I was gonna go for a double, but then I was like, I won't get the chance, and right now I can ram him, and then now I will double him. Perfect. So let's just reload the double. Unfortunately, I get shot by someone. Oh well. And, okay, there's the standard B. Time to use my HP to get more kills. I'm on 4 kills. I missed the scorpion. Okay, keep that in mind. I missed the scorpion once. So no matter. We'll move in. 6,000 damage, 4 kills. Still a lot more damage and kills to get. So, let's push up. And the standard B is backing up over there. Okay. Let's see. Will he back into my gun? I'm spotted. Let's see. Will he poke? Yep. Rookie mistake. He poked. And now the scorpion. He's probably pre-aimed over here. So I'm going to load 2 shells. I have APCR, by the way. And here he is. Okay. Yeah, wow. That's really awesome, man. Armor not hit. This scorpion gets 2 free shots into me because this gun won't fucking hit. But, yeah, okay. Your time is up, Scorp. I'm just going to close the distance and get my top gun, alright? Where's the T-57, though? Oh, he's spotted over there. Okay. At first, I think of going this way, but I will be in kind of a crossfire. So, I'm going to go the long way. Let's see. Can I get to this guy? Now, for some reason, the T-54D is coming that way, and so I pre-charge it. One of them doesn't pen, and... Bruh. You gotta be kidding me, dude. You know what's funny? You think, oh, that you got outplayed by that scorpion. This scorpion was dog shit. Aside from 1 shot, all his damage was from me. Because I kept missing him. What annoying, obnoxious bullshit. Anyway, let's just pretend I got a top gun, okay? Let's say it was 7,000 damage, 7 kills. Because, to be honest, I should have killed that T-54D. I mean, let's be real here, right, guys? Anyway. The Condor, I enjoy it. I really wish Wargaming would add more double barrels like these. Not the British ones that we have with their stupid modes. But more just like, you know, traditional, real double barrels where you charge them up, blast people. But anyway, I hope this video was interesting for you. And thanks for watching. Please help me get my 59.